I'd rather face 1,000 crazy savages than one woman who's learned how to shoot.
The first time I saw Three Women, I don't think I understood any of it. It stays in your memory rather than really thinking what the film's about. You really just think about it as a blur, and that's kind of how I have digested it over the years. And I think what Laura was saying is interesting because in a weird way, the experience of that film is it kind of seeps into you. I think there's a tremendous freedom in that kind of filmmaking. One of the things that was very eye-opening for me was the idea that a film could exist that didn't rely on logic, even though it is logical. It's similar to the way that we understand a dream.
What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen twins before?
It's a specific story about a character that goes on a kind of psychological journey, and I think the way that the film works is that she's looking deeper and deeper inward as we progress through the film for answers. I don't think she necessarily finds the answers, but it's really a film that's looking at the idea of what is it that makes the sublime experience. And in that sublime experience, there's extreme beauty and extreme destruction. There's something about it that seems demented. I can't put my finger on it, but maybe it's because it's like you're out in the middle of the desert. You're in a place where people kind of go to be forgotten, or they want to like lose themselves in this isolated town. There's something about it that makes you feel as though this is the last place you can go. And then layered into it is the murals and that haunting presence of this kind of like dangerous world that's in their backgrounds. They're almost like cave paintings. It makes you feel like you're going to the heart of things. What are these characters? And why are they interacting the way they are? Why are the women merging together? And then there's the artist that is kind of the guiding force. There's something so creepy about the clothes in Three Women. It's like when you see really ugly silk flowers in a room and they're creepy. That's how I feel about the clothes in that movie. Costume design as an art is really critical to amazing filmmaking. In something like Three Women, it's being used to really blend the woman into the landscape. And it can be in the most subtle way to tell the viewer a lot about the characters. You know, there's a reason that we're talking about Shelley Duvall's yellow dress. There's something so put together about it because I know that the way I'm attracted to what she's wearing, so is Sissy Spacek's character. She's like looking at her being like, oh, I want to be that woman. So when you saw them dressed in those clothes, you're like, is this a fantasy? And you're using the psychology of color, I mean, in a really important way. The purple in Three Women is really interesting because it's such an aggressive color, and it's a hard color to interact with. It's such a disruptive color to the eyesight. It's really interesting. Well, so is yellow. Yellow is like a manic color. Well, they say it doesn't stop. If you look at a yellow dot, you'll see just yellow. It feels more thought-provoking and interesting than most films I see. How is that possible? I mean, it's really incredible. As much as it is a product of its time in terms of like the visual associations you make with it, it really is beyond that.